I have a light bulb warning light displaying on the dashboard when I switch the car on. I'll show you how to quickly diagnose this fault. As you can see there, the light bulb is showing on the dashboard. You need to use the left hand side indicator. There's a scroller there, and you're looking for the check control menu option. Once you find it there, you need to depress the BC button and keep that pressed for about 20 seconds, and you'll find an error code displayed on the dashboard. There you have it, CCID 123, which is the error code that I need to investigate to rectify this problem. A quick search for BMW CCID error codes on the internet has brought me to this website. There are numerous others that you can use to check your error codes. If I scroll down this page, you can see BMW CCID codes for vehicle lighting. I'm looking for CCID 123. That is here. And as you can see, I have a rear light rear failure. So that indicates that one of the light bulbs on the rear of the car on the right hand side has failed. So that's where I need to locate my efforts when I am changing the light bulbs. Absolute child's play to diagnose exactly where the error code is. Not so easy if you don't have this menu option. I've seen a number of people use pretty protracted methods to try and diagnose a failing light. This menu option on the car, if you don't have iDrive, really makes it as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's pretty quick and simple to replace the tail lights on a BMW E91 Touring. I am folding down the rear seats to give me some extra space, as I'm about to remove 4 panels at the back to allow me access to the light assemblies. Open the boot and remove the panel at the bottom that typically covers the spare wheel. You can see immediately just how useful that extra space is created by folding the rear seats. Next up, we're going to remove the right hand side panel by removing 2 clips at the bottom. I'm missing one there. The second one there, you just pull it upwards. It's a little pin clip that will allow you to remove the right hand side panel. And then there's a plastic cover over the battery that has 2 clips on the right hand side panel that you need to turn left, and then just lift off the protective plastic cover over the battery, and then you've got complete access to the right hand side taillight assembly. There are the 2 clips over the plastic cover at the top. Then you can just pull off the cover over the battery. There are 2 actions to perform to remove the taillight assembly. The first is to detach the electrical connector. You just pull it out there. Pay special attention to the position of my thumb when I press down on the assembly to grab the assembly out. Some pressure on your thumb will allow you to detach the right hand side light assembly. And there you can see the bottom right hand side bulb is definitely blown. The middle bulb doesn't look too great either. The centers of the light bulbs are a pretty good indicators to the condition. I intend to replace all 8 tail light bulbs, so we're going to remove the left hand side tail light assembly shortly. This is far simpler. All you need to do is just remove the panel over the first aid kit. You have immediate access, and it's a mirror of what you've just done on the right hand side. Detach the electrical connector, and then a little bit of pressure in the middle towards the bottom of the taillight assembly will allow you to detach and unclip the left hand side taillight assembly. That's how quick and simple it is to gain access to the tail lights on a BMW E91 Touring. And again, the centers of the bulbs are pretty good indicators to the condition. We're going to replace all 8 next. A close inspection of the lights. You can definitely see the right hand side bottom is blown. It looks as if 4 of them look okay, the other 4 not so okay. I'm going to replace all 8 light bulbs because it costs around £10 to get a pack of 10 highly reputable light bulbs from Osram. It really doesn't make sense to wait for the other bulbs to fail when you can easily replace all of them for £10. It's P21W, the code you can see on the light bulb box on the left. You'll shortly be able to see that on the light assembly, and all you do is you just there you can see P21W, just so you don't make a mistake by placing the wrong bulb. It's pretty important, obviously. On some cars you have a red light bulb for the indicator. You don't want to install the wrong light bulb. To remove the light bulb, you just press down and turn it anti-clockwise, and it just pulls out. Pretty important that you use gloves here. You don't want to leave any residue on the surface of the bulb. They tend to burn quite brightly and hot. And again, there P21W is the code for all the bulbs on the left hand side assembly. You can see that on the box. And there are the old or currently installed light bulbs that I purchased with the car, and there are the 10 new ones. And to install the bulb, all you need to do is just push it down and turn it clockwise. It's very easy. And there, I've just installed the other 7. And I've 2 new ones left. And it's that easy to replace the bulbs on the taillight assembly. There, I've picked the wrong tail light for the wrong side. It's important that you don't try and force this. I should have put a little sticker to mark the left and right, but you can actually see it pretty easily which one goes to which side. And to reinstall the light assembly, all you need to do is just push it in and it will slot in and you'll definitely hear a click. Then just reconnect the electrical connector, push it in, everything's quite firm and sturdy there. And a mirror of the right hand side taillight assembly. You just clip it in there, it's just slotted in immediately. Definitely hear it click. Reconnect the electrical connector on the right hand side taillight assembly. And yeah, it's that simple to reinstall the taillight assemblies. Now we've got the cover for the first aid kit to replace on the left hand side first, and then the plastic protective cover over the battery. That has two clips towards the top that you need to turn to position the protective plastic cover. And then the right hand side panel has two pin clips to hold it in place. I'm missing one, and I've just dropped one over my glove where the spare wheel usually sits. If you can spot it there, that's where it is. So I just need to locate that and then place that back on the right hand side panel. There is the pin clip. The car was missing the other one when I purchased it. I will order one. And finally the panel over the spare wheel, and it's that simple to replace the tail lights on a BMW E91 Touring. Unfortunately, the CCID error code is still displaying on the dashboard when I start the car, so I'm going to perform some additional diagnosis. I am going to step on the brake and put the car into drive. As you can see there, now I am in reverse and driving back and forwards, activating the rear tail lights to see which one isn't working. I am recording a video as well as this one is running, showing the lights activating, and we'll jump to that in a brief moment. Very useful technology, these mobile phones and videos that can really help you diagnose a fault on your own. Typically this would have required more than one person in the past, because obviously somebody's got to drive the car and you can't really see what's happening at the back of the car. So if you've got two cameras, that's a handy way to diagnose failing tail lights, to see which one is failing to activate. I am just cycling through all the lights in the car at the moment, and as I said, we're going to jump to the rear camera in just a second. And as you can see, I'm stepping on the brake. Immediately you can see that the brake light on the inner tail light on the left isn't activating, so you can see kind of like there's three long lines on the right, but on the left the inner one isn't working. The reverse lights are both working. Those white lights are the reverse parking lights, and you've got the brake lights that are working. The indicators are all fine. The issue is definitely the brake light, which is obviously very important if you're driving at speed and you step on the brake and somebody's behind you. You definitely don't want them running into the back of you, so a very important light to replace that we will do in a brief moment. It's even quicker and simpler to gain access to the inner tail light assemblies. If you open up the boot, you'll need a trim removal tool. I have one here, and you'll need to use that to detach 3 clips on the panel on the tailgate. There are 3. The one on the left is quite loose, so I won't really need to detach that, but using the trim removal tool, you just slide out the middle one and the right hand side one, and you have complete access now to the tailgate. Where you just need to remove the foam on either side to obtain access to the taillight assembly. And if you just watch where my thumb and index finger are, you can just unclip the taillight assembly by applying a little bit of pressure towards you. My left hand is on the camera, so I can't really disconnect the electrical connector. Again, if you just watch where my thumb and index finger are, here I'm detaching the right hand side inner taillight assembly. I'll put the camera on a mount shortly. That'll allow me to detach the electrical connectors. Obviously, if you were not filming a video, you'd have just been able to detach the inner taillight assemblies by using both hands, and there all you need to do is to detach the electrical connector, pretty much the same as the outer taillight assemblies, and remove the inner taillight assembly. An exact mirror on the other side. You just need to disconnect the electrical connector, and you have access to the inner right taillight assembly, and you can change the bulbs. There, the left and right taillight assembly areas are empty, and you have the tail light assemblies ready to have the bulbs replaced. You can see there the middle left hand side tail light looks pretty bad. Again, the centers are pretty good indicators as to the condition of the bulb. We'll be replacing all 4 of the bulbs. I don't have the top 2 bulbs, but at least now I know what the code is, and I'll be able to order those and replace those 2. And there we have the 4 replacement bulbs. You know the drill. Press the bulb into the center and turn it anti-clockwise to remove it. And in just a moment I'll install all 4 new light bulbs. There they are, 4 brand new light bulbs installed on the left and right inner tail light assemblies, ready to be returned to the car. There you can see the code is a H21W code for those 2 light bulbs that I didn't replace. And to return the taillight assemblies, you just reconnect the electrical connector and slide the assembly back in, and just be sure to hear it click in. Yeah, it definitely needs to be firmly back in place. And just return the foam over the taillight assembly to protect it from dust. And exactly the same on the mirror. On the left hand side in a taillight assembly, you just reconnect the electrical connector and slide the taillight assembly back and hear it click in. Click. And then you can just return the foam that protects the tail light, and just click back the tailgate panel in place, and that's how easy it is to install your inner taillight assemblies. And close the boot. If we go to start the car, you'll find that the warning light for the light bulb has gone away.